Uncompromised Wellness Fawn here, and I am coming to you today to tell you why you should listen to me and also to share new 2023 updated heart disease and stroke statistics issued by the American Heart Association. I'm updating my posties for my chapter because I started this book a year ago, and so my data is outdated. So I wanted to share them with you. I haven't even read them yet, and I'm going to share them with you. And if I can recall off the top of my head any changes from last year, this year, I'll share that. But otherwise, maybe I'll do an updated video with that information. Okay, why you should listen to me? Don't. You shouldn't. Please stop listening to me right now. I am not an expert. I am not a doctor, and I am not giving you medical advice at all. I am asking that you become the expert of you and your body, and I am just sharing my experience with me and mine. So, onward and upward, let's talk about heart disease and stroke statistics 2023 updates. You're getting them real time as I read them, okay? First, 9.7 million adults have undiagnosed diabetes. 9.7 million adults have undiagnosed diabetes. Whoa. Whoa. Interesting fact that I do recall from my previous research is that doctors didn't used to think that kids could get type 2 diabetes. Some of them could get type 1, but I think diabetes was really rare in kids, and they even called it juvenile diabetes for a while, but now they just call it type 1 and 2 because so many people have it and so many young people are getting type 2 diabetes also. Actually, hang tight, I'll tell you, because I have some stuff up here from WebMD. It says, according to the CDC, more than 208,000 people younger than 20 have diabetes. This number includes both 1 and 2. This information, this article is from March 18th, 2023 in WebMD. Who gets diabetes, type 2 diabetes, is most likely to affect children who are girls, overweight, have a family history of diabetes, American Indian, African American, Asian, or Hispanic or Latino, have a problem called insulin resistance. The single biggest cause of type 2 diabetes in children is extra weight. That's preventable, folks. Nearly 1 out of every 3 children are overweight. Wow. Once a child gets too heavy, they're twice as likely to get diabetes. Okay, moving on. 29.3 million adults actually have diagnosed diabetes. So 9.7 million are undiagnosed, 29.3 are diagnosed, and 115.9 million adults have pre-diabetes. Now, those numbers are based on 2017 to 2020 data. Fascinating. 115.9 million adults have pre-diabetes. Wow. Preventable. You can have a genetic predisposition for something, but everything else on the list typically is something we can address and decrease the likelihood of triggering our predispositions. All right, here we go. 224.4 per 100,000 is the age-adjusted U.S. death rate attributed to cardiovascular disease. So 224.4 people per 100,000 people are dying of cardiovascular disease. 239.8 per 100,000 global death rate attributable to cardiovascular disease. The age-adjusted global. Okay, so in the US, 224.4 out of 100,000 people are dying of cardiovascular disease. Pretty decent chunk there, like quarter. And then 239.8 per 100,000 globally. Here's the thing that jumped out at me right away when I opened this document. It says On average, someone in the US dies of cardiovascular disease every 34 seconds. There's 2,544 US deaths from cardiovascular disease every single day. This is based on 2020 data. 2020, if you remember, was a year where we significantly challenged our chronic diseases. We compounded our production of cardiovascular disease, of chronic disease. We're mass producing chronic disease in people, and you just heard the numbers, what we're doing to our children. We're mass producing cardiovascular disease and other chronic diseases, and then we compounded it with infectious disease. And while we can't always control exposure to infectious disease, we've come a long way over time to address infectious disease. Only my prediction, not a doctor, go do your own research. My prediction is that we will see that we are starting to fail at our efforts to address infectious disease because we're mass producing chronic disease. So we're making sickly people who cannot survive these infectious diseases. And in the last 2 years, we've seen the average lifespan decrease when it has been increasing pretty consistently before that. So do your own research, come to your own conclusions, but one person dies every 34 seconds of a almost completely preventable disease. And if I do remember correctly, unless I have been misquoting statistics, which is, by the way, very likely, I've been saying somebody dies every 37 seconds. So either we've picked up the pace or my memory is off, which it could be either. On average, someone in the US dies of a stroke every 3 minutes. Like, okay, 2 people died in the time that I've been recording. 3 minutes and 17 seconds. Yeah. 2. And we're working on a third person. 439 people die from strokes every day. So we've got 2,544 people in the US dropping dead today of a preventable disease and 439 deaths from strokes. So sad. Okay, this says 122.4 million, or 47% of US adults are estimated to have hypertension. Whoa, man. This is 2017-2020 data too, so not sure what data we were looking at in 2022. I don't know why we're updating a 2023 document with only 2020 data, but okay. Actually, I have my hunches on that too, okay? But we're not going to go there here either. Do your own homework, do your own research, come to your own conclusions. 122.4 million, or 47% of US adults are estimated to have hypertension. Data from 2017 to 2020. I don't know when in 2020. I don't know if it was the end of 2020 or not, but my hunch is 2020 to 2023 is where the meat is on the bones, man. I think I think those numbers are going to be devastating. 1 in 4 adults in the United States reported achieving adequate leisure time, aerobic, and muscle strengthening activities to meet physical activity guidelines. 1 in 4 adults are reporting that. I doubt that. That's 2018 data. Y'all are lying. You're lying. Do you even know what adequate leisure time, aerobic, and muscle strengthening activities are? We just don't even live in a culture that fosters that. No, you have to be moving fast. You have to be a fast mover, fast actor, hard charging, 20-hour-a-day working, 3-hour-a-night sleeping, crazy stressed maniac to have any clout in our culture. So doubt it, not buying it. Okay, 1 in 4 adults lying. Liars, liars, pants on fire. I'm a fairly active person, and I would hesitate to answer that question honestly, because listen, I'm lazy by nature. I have to use discipline to exercise. Okay. 1 in 7 male adults in the United States are current smokers. Whoa, wowzers, 1 in 7. I'd like to see what's happened with that number. That's 2020 data. That's interesting. I'd like to see what's happened in that number since we like banned the Marlboro Man, cool media, stopped calling cigarettes safe. Like, it would be interesting to see if we've seen a decrease in smoking with adequate and accurate information and decreased propaganda. Like, it would be interesting. Just, I have to take a note because I have to look into that. I'm just going to write smoking here. I think that would be fascinating to see how influential we are as people. Or are we making up our own minds and getting healthy? It'd be interesting. Okay. 1 in 9 female adults in the United States are current smokers. So 1 in 7 men, 1 in 9 women, 1 in 9 high school students in the United States used e-cigarettes in the past 30 days. That's 2021 data. That's our most current data here. I am not doing any research on the e-smoking, but I can tell you, no bueno, none of it's good. I would hesitate to say it's probably worse than tobacco. Every 1 hour a night decrease in sleep below the 7 to 8 hour a night recommended duration is associated with a 6% higher risk of total cardiovascular disease. So remember earlier I told you, okay, fine, great, you're right. You very well may have inherited a genetic predisposition, but predisposition does not mean predetermination. We are causing our predetermination by the average American diet. The standard American diet spells SAD for a reason. So the standard American diet, lack of exercise, although 1 in 4 of you are doing a bang up job with physical activity, 3 in 4 of us aren't. So lack of sleep, people don't recognize as being super significant, but it is. So if you, for every hour under the 7 to 8 hours of recommended sleep a night that you have, you're 6% higher. For every hour, you're 6% higher risk of cardiovascular disease. Whew, crazy. And every 1 hour a night increase in sleep above 7 to 8 hours is associated with 12% higher risk. What? So for sleeping more than 7 to 8 hours, it increases even more? I have to look into that one. That's mind-boggling to me. Sleep too much. And again, be your own doctor. I agree, probably you're not supposed to sleep all day. You have to get up and be active and everything. Probably shouldn't need more than 7 to 8 hours of sleep. That should be like, you should wake up like, whoa, that was awesome. But if you do have an autoimmunity and you're on the early stages of healing, your body is going to want to sleep. And I say, let it, because it's working really hard. I'm on a pharmaceutical detox right now, pretty intense, and it exhausts me, and I require like a 20-minute nap in the middle of the day. That's not even an hour. I'm not worried about it, but just to say, like, it's not all the time, so it's not a consistent issue of mine. I would say if you're sleeping more than 7-8 hours, you're either a teenage boy or there might be a reason to talk to your doctor and get your blood work done. So in 2017, Alzheimer's disease and Alzheimer's disease-related dementia affected 2.9 million people in the United States. This does not surprise me, and honestly, I'm gonna look up historical data on that, on dementia, because diet is significant. I spent a lot of my life eating vegan and vegetarian, and I just started eating more carnivore as you age. I'm just learning a lot about how animal protein builds muscle and muscle builds immunity, and clean meat, guys, as clean as you can possibly get it, okay? Don't go hormone, grain-fed, all that nonsense, because there's no point. Clean meat is, as we age, is really good for building muscle, and building muscle is really good for your immunity. So for my autoimmune ladies, I'm recommending you do your research and consider carnivore, and I know there's a lot of pressure to do vegetarian and vegan with autoimmunity. I've had good luck with paleo and carnivore diet. So do your own research. But all of this to say that my brain activity, my memory, all the things that the B vitamins and the animal protein, all those B vitamins do to help with your memory, I'm noticing them. So I was in a staff meeting the other day, and I always have my computer up, and I am a multitasker. We're not even going to talk about that right now. So sometimes I'm like taking minutes and also like answering emails and watching emails. Well, I saw an email come by from somebody. I didn't even open it. I just saw it come by and made a mental note like, okay, that person emailed. I'll have to look at that later. And it was sent to me and another person I work with. Okay, so fast forward like 3 hours later after the meeting, the other person I work with says, oh, I haven't heard back from so-and-so. And I said, you did. We got an email at 11:23 a.m. And then I was like, how did I know it was 11:23? Like, surely I didn't look at the time or anything when it came through. It's just that a quick glance of the email, saw the timestamp, and put a mental note in here. It wasn't even conscious. So I said, can you look at that email and see if I got that right? And sure enough, 11:23, I got it right. I had the right person, the right time. I knew when we got the email. My memory has increased significantly. Processed foods, do your own research. You'll see they're affecting your brain fog, the inability to recall. We are eating our way into an increase in that disease. I guarantee it. So I haven't looked at the historical data, but I would love to see the onset of sugar added to our food and the rise of cancer, Alzheimer, all of that. You can find the connection yourself. Less than 10% of U.S. adults met the guidelines for whole grain, whole fruit, and non-starchy vegetable consumption each day. I just gave a whole spiel on diet, and I'll do another video. Actually, I might jump on and do a video right after this one on what I recommend in regards to diet. Again, not giving medical advice. I'm not making an actual diet recommendation. I'm just going to share with you what I do and what my theory is on the next video. Anyhow, those are the numbers. If any of them are astonishing to you, go look them up. Now, again, I'm looking at data that's not 2023 data. It's not new. And we're doing very little to address this horrific, the leading cause of death in the US today. So get on it. Go do your research. Peace, people.